My grandfather taught taco.
Grito Marcial.
Saudações, amigos do programa Grito Marcial. Esse é um programa muito especial, que é com uma pessoa, um ator de cinema, o Mekael Turner. É uma pessoa incrível, um instrutor de capoeira. Infelizmente, eu não falo inglês e, para minha sorte, o Messi Peixe, que é um amigão, um parceirão do programa, estava comigo lá em Los Angeles e me ajudou nessa entrevista, que está incrível. Felizmente, vai estar somente em inglês, mas vale muito a pena assistir. Muito obrigado, instrutor Jamaica. Axé.
Salve, salve! Saudações, amigos do Grito Marcial. Estamos aqui com Mekael Turne, instrutor Jamaica da China, student of Formando Chumbinho, to share his story and his experience in capoeira. Instructor Jamaica also is a big movie star, teaching capoeira in China, but also doing many movies in China. Jamaica, so how did you feel? Share with us, how do you feel in terms of to be a martial artist, because you're a martial arts specialist, you're doing actions movie, and to introduce capoeira to the Chinese movie industry?
It's a pleasure because first of all, I love capoeira, and China has a long history of martial arts, but they haven't had time with capoeira yet. So for them, it's something new, something special, something different. They're not used to the music, to the rhythm, the moves, the floeros, and different ways of dancing and culture.
So share with us a little bit. What's the feeling like you did a movie with Mike Tyson, lots of big names on the movie industry. What's the feeling like? Share with us and then sometimes in the warm-up, you're doing your jinga, you're doing your kicks, you're doing your kung fu, you're doing all that stuff. Share a little bit of that experience to practicing. And sometimes, actually, the big movie stars ask you to demonstrate some capoeira stuff, and you explain about capoeira, how we introduce the capoeira to those guys, how they see capoeira.
So first, I did a movie with Mike Tyson. Had a little bit of capoeira in it. First of all, I feel like Mike Tyson is a martial artist. People think of him as a boxer, but really he's a master boxer.
So he's a lover of martial arts.
True.
Yes.
Even in rehearsal, while we're going through the scenes, his hands are super fast and accurate.
He still have it. Eh?
Yeah, he still has it, and he's 50 now. He's over 50 right now.
Yeah.
As far as the action directors in China, the action directors do not know how to direct capoeira. So oftentimes I have to give them suggestions, tell them about how the moves, the amada, the gancho kicks are different than like the hook kick,
yes,
or the usual taekwondo or wushu kicks, yes, that they have. So
because normally the angle of the cameras and all that stuff, the height of the scenes and the productions to the camera is very important as well. That's right.
It is, because if the moves aren't choreographed correctly, they won't represent capoeira well. So my big thing is that I really want capoeira to be represented well in film, which is why I brought it to China, which is like one of the centers for martial arts in movies.
Wow, amazing. I imagine it's be a great experience, to deliver and share your passion for capoeira, especially on the big screen. Now, tell me a little bit about the capoeira in China. So how you see the Chinese, because you speak, you America, that's right? You're born in America, United States, and you speak fluent in Chinese?
Mandarin and Cantonese.
Yes, amazing. And how the Chinese see capoeira? Because you deliver classes over there. Explain it to us. They understand the culture of capoeira?
So right now, capoeira in China is very young. As far as I know, there's maybe like 3 or 4 groups in the whole country.
Yes.
The most experience is they just don't know what it is, because China has 5,000 years of history,
yes,
maybe a couple of thousand years of a martial art. So to bring capoeira, it's like, okay, in the beginning it was like, we have a martial art.
Yes.
Why do we need to study?
Well, the Kung Fu is very famous over there.
Yeah, and there's many different styles of Kung Fu and different things. What they love about capoeira is because capoeira is more than just the moves and the tricks or whatever. It's more about community. It's more about the music, feel, the flow and swing of things. There's more about emotions that are involved in the fight, and not just moves, right? So what the Chinese feel that they get from it is like the center of a feeling of being a part of a group, you know, of a family that's going together. And that can only be done in capoeira because of the singing. You know, because if you take away the singing, then we're just sort of fighting. And if you take away the music, and in order to sing, we have to sing together. You know, it's like a band; we have to be together. So once they experience that, they love it.
They
love it.
They engage.
Yeah, once they feel it, and they, you know, even though the songs are in Portuguese, and Portuguese and Chinese are really far apart as far as languages.
I know that. Yes.
But once they experience it, though, they latch on, and then they embrace the Portuguese, they embrace the capoeira songs, they embrace the movements, and they understand it's not necessarily about hitting, although they do like the fact, after seeing a lot of MMA fights, because MMA is popular in China.
Yes.
After seeing a lot of MMA fighters also using capoeira, meia luz de passo, and a couple of different takedowns and kicks, once they know that it's capoeira, then they're like, oh, okay, I see.
This coming from the capoeira.
Then they cut in, and then they're like, okay. So those two things, a couple things. One's the movie, Lateef Crowder in The Protector with Tony Jaa.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, you know.
Wow.
Of course, everybody knows Eddie Gordo.
Yes.
You know, something like that. And because of those two specifically, capoeira, they have an idea capoeira.
Yes.
Added on with the MMA fighters, also starting to more and more MMA fighters are,
more capoeirista fighters.
Yeah, capoeirista fighters.
Yes.
That mixed with that, and then now seeing it, so then it's starting to help. And then I'm hoping, that's the reason why I'm fluent in Mandarin and Cantonese, is because it takes that in order to communicate.
Of course, it's essential, the language to express
the
yourself,
details,
to express your culture.
Right.
So, because you talk about the language here, I mean, you're born in America, moved to China, and for how long you been living there?
So I was born in New York, raised in Atlanta. I've been living in China for about 17 years right now.
17 years.
Yeah, 17 years.
So how do you feel, because you're not Brazilian, you know?
No.
I mean, for example, I completely believe capoeira is not to be the color or the language or your nationality. Capoeira is unique as a one thing only. It's the feelings, the love, and the skills you have to pass on. So how do you feel about that? Because you're not Brazilian.
Right.
So you look like Brazilian, but you're not Brazilian.
Yeah.
Your Portuguese is not your first language. So did you have difficulties in terms of to express your Portuguese? Because you speak Portuguese a little bit, that's right?
A little bit from the songs, because all capoeiras.
So you learn the songs. Yeah. So your Portuguese coming from the music side.
Yeah, from the music, and then listening to mestre and all different mestres for here.
So how did you feel about that? Did you feel like you're not a true capoeirista because you're not Brazilian?
Well, there's a couple of ways I think about it. So no, I'm not Brazilian, but yes, I am of African descent. You know, it is part of my culture in a sense. Yes. You know, you have Afro-Brazilian, but at the same time, my love for culture is a very different way that other people take it on. For example, being fluent in Mandarin and Cantonese isn't just like a light touch. No. You have to go very deep to get it, you know what I mean? Which is as deep as I go into Chinese to learn Mandarin and Cantonese, that's how deep I go into the Brazilian culture for capoeira. So as far as learning Portuguese, actually for my students in China, my main requirement is to learn Portuguese and not necessarily English or whatever, because it's the language of capoeira. I tell them, yes, I'm the one introducing it, and the way I see it, at the core, I'm a capoeirista. So I'm not Brazilian, but I'm a capoeirista.
Correct.
And
that's
I'm using
the most important thing.
I'm using my talents to help introduce the Brazilians and the Brazilian culture over, because not many Brazilians speak Chinese yet. You know, hopefully more. But while that doesn't matter, that's the point of capoeira, is that you have a team. You know, so I'm part of the team. People coming over, I can translate and convey and deliver the message of Brazilian culture, of capoeira, of the African culture, of the Afro-Brazilian culture, and give it to the Chinese, and then vice versa, so that there could be an understanding. And with that understanding, Capoeira can succeed in China.
Wow, that's very, very nice. So, I would like you to leave some message and to the capoeirista, no Brazilians, and deliver a class there. So share with us a little bit about your vision. What together with are you a student of Formando Chumbinho, correct?
Yes, I'm a student from Formando Chumbinho under Mestre Peixe.
So share with us the goals as a big picture to achieve the growth of capoeira in China.
Goals, yes. So goals for Capoeira right now. I'm over a group in my main group is in Guangzhou, China, which is near Hong Kong, but in mainland China. From there, my next goal is Beijing, which is the capital of China, because Beijing is, if I were to relate it to the U.S., Beijing is Wall Street, it's Hollywood, it's Washington D.C., it's the center of everything. Because of that, I feel that if Capoeira I develop it well in Beijing, it'll develop all over China. So for the main part, it's these two cities, and then from there I branch out.
Okay, I would like to ask you to leave a nice message in Chinese, okay, to my friend Cavalo, the founder of Grito Marcial. About to say thank you to him because the founder of Grito Marcial, his name Edson Cavalo, is a capoeirista. He's developed capoeira. He's developed this channel to promote the martial art. This channel, Grito Marcial, is not about the money. It's not about the industry of promotion. It's only the support. So give a message for him in Chinese, please.
Go again, maybe.
Could you please deliver a message for him in Chinese?
首先，我想谢谢他，就是说我谢谢你，我有这个机会，我可以放下我现在在中国做的工作，我们现在做的工作在中国，我希望巴西站我可以在中国好好的发展，这个还有更多的巴西站舞者过来我们这边，过来中国，我觉得巴西站我一定可以在中国发展。
Grito Marcial.
My grandfather taught taco.
Grito Marcial.